Hey, what is going on guys? Father Gamer here and welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at 4 reasons why you should still be playing Tales of Glory. So make sure you're comfortable, sit back and relax, and let's begin. So, in my opinion, Tales of Glory is an excellent game and has always been very enjoyable to play. But I've never quite been able to understand why it's not as popular as some of its VR counterparts, such as Blade and Sorcery, which is known for its excellent combat physics, or of course the very brutal and gory Hellsplit Arena, or even Swordsman VR for its realistic weapon handling and realism when fighting in the game. Each of those games all have strong points which make them very enjoyable to play, but in my opinion Tales of Glory also has strong points which seems to go unnoticed, thus leading to a very underrated game. Which is why today we're going to be looking at 4 reasons why you should still be playing Tales of Glory. So, let's start with number 1. For a start, Tales of Glory allows you to fight in huge battles such as 20 versus 20 or even 100 versus 100 depending on how much your computer can handle. And for me, there is no other game which provides quite the same feeling of charging into battle, fighting side by side with your men like Tales of Glory does, and you can even give them orders live on the battlefield to coordinate your attacks. The game really does a good job at making you feel like you're in the middle of a chaotic battle. One minute you could be fighting and all seems well, and then the next minute you take a look around and realise all your men are dead and you're left to fight by yourself. On the flip side, you could be fighting an epic battle and feel all is lost, and then you're reinforced by your men, which is a very powerful and epic feeling. This is definitely one of those games that I could sink hours and hours into, creating all kinds of scenarios inside my head as these battles played out. And they will play out differently depending on how you perform and the kind of orders that you give to your men. It's really up to you. And of course, let's not forget about that glorious feeling of victory when the battle has been won and your men are throwing down their weapons and throwing their arms in the air celebrating victory. Now I know people have complained that the graphics could be better and that the physics is not quite as satisfying as Blade and Sorcery and some other games. But in fairness, have you ever seen this many NPCs active and fighting while running smoothly? No. And I actually think the game looks quite good, and what's important is that the fighting is satisfying and it's solid and it works. Yes, there are some occasions where you get some unexpected results, but you get that in a lot of VR games and most of the time it's quite humorous. And secondly, we have the game's campaign, where you can visit towns, recruit men for your armies, trade and take quests, and of course capture settlements for yourself. This is played mostly on the campaign map, except during battles, which is of course played on the battlefield. But what I enjoy most about this campaign is the progression. For example, you will start off with just a few men with basic weapons and shields, fighting off small bandit armies that you encounter along the way. But as you win more battles and collect more gold, you will of course be able to recruit more men and fight in larger and more grander style battles. And of course, while doing that, you are going to level up your character and skills, which will give you a greater access to more weapons and armor in the game. Now most of these weapons will have to be purchased and you will have to be a certain skill level to be able to use them. But once you've reached that skill, you can see there is a large variety of weapons to use. Commanding over multiple large armies as well as ruling over your own territory is something I just haven't been able to find in other VR games, and Tales of Glory does it so well. And it's what makes the game unique and gives it its own personality, but it's also a feature I think I would like to see in other combat VR games, especially the sandbox ones, because it adds a lot of replayability to the game as well. But don't worry, if the campaign's not for you because you're not really into that progression and skills and having to acquire gold and leveling up and all that stuff, then there's many different custom game modes that you can set up if you just like to get straight into the fighting. You don't ever have to play the campaign if you don't want to, it's your choice. Okay, number 3, mods, which is something I know is quite important to a lot of people in these types of VR games because it adds a lot of replayability to these sandboxy type games. However, this game is fully moddable and has been for some while now, and actually has a few cool mods out, as you can see here. There are many cool mods that you can already get, such as like unlimited arrows, rapid fire crossbows, weapon mods, Lord of the Rings mods, spell mods, all sorts of different cool stuff available for the game already. I'll make sure that I leave a few links down in the video description below so that you can go check out the mods on Nexus for yourself, see if any of them take your fancy. There's quite a few on there that I would highly recommend playing with. Did I also mention that there's spells and magic in the game? Okay, so on to my fourth and final reason why you should still be playing Tales of Glory. The fact that it still gets updates, and in the near future we have a full physics update, which is going to change a lot of things and make the game feel a lot better, I imagine. And in my opinion, that will be the final piece of the puzzle in regards to this game. A physics update is all that it's missing. It already has the large battles, sieges, many different maps and the campaign that you can play, modding, spells, it has it all. And as soon as it has its physics updates, in my opinion there would be no reason why this game won't be up there in some of the best VR games that you can currently play. So that about wraps up my 4 reasons why you should still be playing Tales of Glory. I hope that you've enjoyed this video and that you do check out the game for yourself and give it a fair chance, because in my opinion the game is already so good and it has so much more potential. So much more potential. Okay guys, that's going to be it for today. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have, you can let me know by smashing that thumbs up button, and of course if you haven't already, subscribing for more. I'm Father Gamer and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.